would like to take a cunning action and tap someone on the shoulder.
You see her spin around and grab Alan and throw him down to the ground into the swamp.
I didn't do anything! Why are you attacking me?
So, Chuck, you almost just got killed, but you didn't.
Yep, and I'm healed because we all went back and met you at the forge, correct?
Yes, you guys are back at the forge. You guys are in the forge, under the tree, okay? And Chuck has walked in with this hooded figure who actually has another hooded figure.
I'm hurt!
Truck,
I
what
done got stabbed!
Vi, what do you think about these new people?
Oh, these, they do sure seem like upstanding citizens. I'm gonna approach and introduce myself.
So,
you steal anything from any of those people that just saved me, I'm going to pin you against the wall.
do I recognize the character that Truck walked in with as an elf?
you could try to make a perception check.
She took off her hood. I know she's an elf, so I can go ahead and tell you she's an elf.
She says, "What are you guys doing here? It's too dangerous in this city."
Trying to make jewelry.
I want pretty things.
I done got almost murdered. We should get out of this city because I almost got done murdered.
Is the jewelry almost done?
Honestly, I have no idea why I'm here. Like, none in the slightest.
Would anybody like to tell Rory why he's in the middle of an elven city?
We're making jewelry.
We want pretty things. So essentially, we caught a ride from the middle of the ocean on a deserted island into the elven capital, so we could go meet up. I need Truck Owlbreaker to calm down for just a second, so that we could find my aunt, who is the Queen of Asalone, and tell her that Ganymede is a bad dude doing bad things. But when we arrived, she was thankful to see that I was alive because she thought I was dead. And Ganymede was right by her side and was pretending like nothing was wrong. And now Ganymede's trying to kill us underneath the queen's nose. And we got to figure out how to, tell the queen he's a bad dude without getting killed by him at the same time.
I was attacked. I had to take a walk because I knew Ganymede was in the city and we were going there and I was too ramped up. So I went for a walk, rolled an amazing, I think, 3 to figure my way out. And then it was a 1. Thanks. Yep. And I got lost and then Ganymede sent a handful of men to come and kill me. I was able to fight off a few of them, and then I was basically do or die, and that's when this noble elf lady came in and saved me, and now we're here, and that's where we're at. We have to warn the Orcish kingdoms as well, because they would rally, I think, with the right cause to come down and stop Ganymede.
You see this woman take off her cloak, and she instructs her friend to take off his cloak as well, okay? So she says, "We have been trying to hunt down Ganymede for quite some time now, and we know that if you stay here, you will die, and he will make it look like an accident."
How is he going to make me look like an accident? Stab wounds don't look like accidents.
You fell on a cart of knives.
Identify yourself. What are your sources?
They say, "We are leaving now. I will talk to you on the ship."
Is the jewelry ready?
The jewelry will be ready in an hour.
Can we leave in an hour?
Do we have an hour?
Is there something shiny around that I can see and take?
The jewelry?
That we're all... No, he can't steal all of our paid
Well, he can't because it's in the fire.
I want to get on the boat.
I'd like to ask the hooded figures, first of all, why should we just get in the boat with you? We just met you.
Hey man, I want to go to the boat. Let's go to the boat.
Can we wait for the jewelry to be done?
Andy, she gestures at you. She says, "Alan, you stay here and get their precious, precious jewelry and bring it to the ship so we can get out of here safely. I trust your skills."
Of course.
Do we trust?
Look, I don't know what other proof you need than my bloody body right now to get and follow them. They're the only reasons I'm alive right now. If you don't trust them, that's fine.
But an exposed place like a boat.
Listen, we've survived one boat getting blown out from underneath us.
That is true.
What makes you think
I think we can take another boat.
Maybe we can do another. Fine, let's go to the boat. Let's go to the boat.
All right, we'll go to the boat.
You guys all rush down to the ship, and you see it's this like black wooded ship with silver rims and a silver sail and a red flag. And this ship doesn't match Essalonian design, Bagradarian design. It has a big ram on the front.
Do I recognize it?
If you make a history check DC 10, so above a 10. 24. Whoa. That'll do the trick. This is an Azamarian ship, but it is not like... It's not a military one. This seems to be a special operations Azamarian ship.
Where's Azamar?
It's at the bottom right corner.
Oh, all the way down. Oh, it's where, I know that city.
You guys hop on the ship, and she says, everyone stay below decks. As soon as my friend Alan finishes up our cover in the city, we will be out of here. We have a mission to accomplish. You are against Ganymede, right?
Yeah, so what is Asmar doing in this political relationship?
She says, currently I stand independently from Azamar. That I'm just using my resources from there. You see her take off her cloak, and she has just like full like plate of Azamarian armor. And she says, I am Commander Blackhelm. I have an oath to kill Ganymede.
Good enough for me.
Andy, you pick up their jewelry.
Okay.
You get back to the ship.
Get our stuff.
I want to hand out their things. I'm going to give them to the one that I think looks most trustworthy, because I haven't really been introduced to any of them. I'm going to give them to Tarell.
I thank you generously for your time and your service. If I can repay the favor, please do let me know. And then I proceed to give the new jewelry out of again.
The jewelry is made out of Toravorian steel.
Toravorian steel. So I give each of our members the Toravorian steel jewelry that they requested.
Toravorian.
Do I have to have like a special holder for my dagger, or can I just like put it on me?
I mean, knowing your luck, you'll end up stabbing yourself.
You see Blythe look at that. She says, I didn't really get a chance to see. Is that Toravorian steel? You're royal, aren't you?
I nod slowly and ask how she knows.
She says, it doesn't matter. So she takes a little thing off of her belt, and it is a knife sheath. And she throws it to you.
I catch it and I thank her.
Andy's character, he walks down below decks, and he's going to introduce himself to you all, because some introductions are in order.
All right, so my character walks down. He is a pale and somewhat sallow-looking moon elf. He looks like he has spent most of his life indoors reading books. He stands up tall when he addresses you, but you've seen when no one is looking, or when he thinks no one is looking, that he sort of slouches. And he is pretty clearly very weak. He is scrawny, and it's barely hidden beneath his robes. So Alan looks around at this motley crew and sort of just sneers a little bit and says, "Hello."
Love it. I love it so much.
Does he have a sweet guitar?
No, but I do know how to play dragon chess.
Oh,
Those are similar.
They're the same thing.
I approach him and ask if he is working for Azamar as well.
I'm a longtime friend of Blythe. Our fathers knew each other once. And we both come from noble families in high esteem.
You get this slight... You recognize that these two are both moon elves, okay? And you remember long ago there was a moon elf noble that went missing as a child.
Male or female?
And you're female, but you're like, huh.
Okay, so I'm starting to put some pieces together.
23. So
I'm on a roll
you're
today.
like, wait a second. The person that went missing, they went missing right after their father was killed. And you're like, wait a second. Their father was killed. Who was that father? Who was that father? And you're thinking in your head, and you're thinking in your head.
Oh, is she the beast? Is she Ganymede's beast?
And you're like, This person's father was Ganymede's brother.
Oh.
Family drama.
So that would make Blythe the niece of Ganymede. Can I send the same message to all members of my party?
Yeah, you can be like,
Okay, great. So I use message.
so you attempt to send the message and no one responds. You're like,
Okay, send the message again. Maybe they're all just in shock.
they're not in shock. They just still don't get the message.
There's a ward.
I excuse myself and I pull Garrick with me, and I just say that I need to ask Garrick a question.
Okay.
When we like go out of the
Yeah.
room where everybody
We
else
can
is.
step out of the room.
So,
Right.
Alan, are you going to let them leave the hall?
Yes, because at this point, Alan looks so horrendously bored. Just like so painfully, miserably bored. Like wants to be anywhere else.
I pull Garrick aside and I say, "Did you get my message?"
Nah, do you want to try sending it up here?
Okay, so I send the message again, and I just realized that Blythe is Ganymede's niece.
Does the message send?
You just hear silence. You don't hear anything.
Cool. So tell me it, and I'm going to cast Detect Magic as you tell me.
All right, so then I whisper it out loud very quietly, the message that I was trying to send.
There's an anti-magic field on this ship.
That's what it is. Awesome.
Slight panic starts to run through my veins. I want to make sure we're not in danger, so I want to somehow let the other members of our party know.
I'll go talk. I got it. I'm such a charismatic person. I got this. Does Alan just look bored as hell?
So bored.
So bored. Just like
I'm
rolls
just
his
gonna
eyes
speak it
and
out
like
loud. I'm just gonna say it out loud.
fakes a
No, we
yawn.
don't want Alan to know that we know.
Alan definitely knows, and he definitely doesn't care.
I'll let you handle this. Am I still above deck, right? So I don't know that he's doing this.
Correct.
So
Great.
Blythe is
Alan's a spell.
totally Ganymede's niece.
Oh my god, they figured it out. And then I just do like a.
So you guys go up above deck.
First, wait, I just got a question, like a quick question. How's your relationship with your brother?
She says, "What do you know of my brother?"
We may
And
have
that's
sent him a message.
My brother's off drinking dragon ale in some far-off island by now. He doesn't want anything to do with us. He's made enough money to leave civilization behind.
I asked Blythe if her brother knew the danger the world was in right now, would he come to assist us?
She says, even if he did, that man wouldn't even know how to pick up a sword. Alright, so Blythe says, I've found where one of Ganymede's strongholds is up in the mountains.
We're going! We're going!
Do you like a nice stronghold?
Now Truck is excited.
You want to talk to my brother about Ganymede? Maybe we can get another person.
That is not my job. My job is to hunt down and kill Ganymede. So that is
But, like,
what we're
he can
going to
fight.
do.
He can throw. He can shoot bow.
She says, then you go talk to him and hand him a bow.
So maybe, Garrick, this is the opportune time to go make amends with your brother.
Alternatively, we set him loose into a stronghold, and if we find him again, we see how it goes.
You're going to be docking down here, going through the woods, and actually right here on this mountain.
Perfecto. I love it.
All right, Alan wants to go above decks and have words candidly with Blythe.
I'm gonna accompany Alan.
So you two walk up above deck.
I want to look over my shoulder and I see Truck Owlbreaker creeping, and I want
No, Truck, make a stealth check. So you see Truck sneak in behind you. There's a big creak, and then the metal like scrapes against other metal.
Look, a bird! There's a bird, Alan! A bird!
I want to turn and just say, "Do you mind?"
No, I don't mind at all.
And then Alan's gonna roll his eyes and say, "Fine," and go on talking to Blythe.
So Blythe says, do you feel bad or responsible if any of them die? I mean, we're helping them with their cause too. They want to kill Ganymede just like us.
And Alan says, "I imagine if these fools get themselves killed, it will be absolutely no fault of mine."
She says, so you don't feel bad?
Not in the slightest.
Me neither. So.
If it means killing Ganymede, I have no problem with it. I don't care what his name is. His name's dirt to me.
Are you sure this is the best we can do, though?
He says, they have hatred just like us, and it is a powerful weapon against such fragile men.
I hope you're right.
You saw his missing arm. Rumor is that they took it off.
That was me. This guy right here, Truck Owlbreaker.
She says, do you mind? Go below decks. Fine. You, sir, look like a man with cause.
Vengeance, oath of vengeance. Kill my brother.
Ganymede
take
did?
his head. Yeah.
She says, Ganymede took my father.
Well, then we have a joint cause right here.
She says, then I shall back your cause and your oath with my life as well.
I drop down on one knee and pledge myself to the cause.
Alan rolls his eyes and says, with the dramatics.
Truck Owlbreaker, so noble.
You guys finish up your rest. You wake up in the morning and you are docked in this kind of almost like a swampy area where there's like the ships can go in, but there's like tree covering. You dock there and you hop off the ship, and she says, I have horses in this town. We're gonna stop by and get everything that we need to get up the mountain and hopefully catch him by surprise.
Fine. Is my eagle back yet?
Yes. Your eagle lands on a nearby tree. All of a sudden you feel like you see like ripples in the water around you.
Why?
Just the eagle was so loud.
Oh, okay.
How big's this eagle?
It's a big eagle.
How big?
Like that big?
Like big enough for me to ride?
Not big enough for you to ride.
Get off my familiar.
Blythe tells you guys to stop arguing and keep moving through the swamps.
I would like to take a cunning action and tap someone on the shoulder.
Who would you like to tap on the shoulder?
I'm gonna tap Blake.
Blythe spins around, and the closest person, which is Alan, you see her spin around and grab Alan and throw him down to the ground into the swamp.
Alan shrieks like a child. And then starts like immediately sniveling, like, I didn't do anything! I didn't do anything!
What do you mean you didn't do anything?
Why are you attacking me?
So she picks you up off the ground and she dusts you off. She's like, you'll be fine.
And I say to her, you can't dust mud off, Blythe.
So then she tosses you a gold piece. She's like, then you'll take a bath in town.
I pocket the gold piece, but still look like pretty sour about it.
You guys continue walking. Elliot, make a perception check.
Why is something bad about that?
So that's pretty good. You see the water start to ripple kind of around Chuck. And you start seeing like these, almost like a current form out of nowhere under the bayou. And it seems to be moving around your party.
Alan wants to look around and try to figure out who just pulled this prank on him.
Vi, you're in a tree, so you're going to have to make a stealth check for the tree or else Andy's going to see you.
Reasonable.
You just jumped up into a tree, just up. So you're looking around, you're like, must have been the wind.
Let's forge on.
Yeah, let's just go. What are we worried about a little current for?
All right.
We're going.
What's a little fish? So you guys keep moving. And
Why
you're
is she
like,
rolling?
yeah, don't worry about it. So Andy, you kind of are like dusting, like getting the mud off. You're like, this is disgusting. And you're like looking at the reflection in the water. You're like, it's all over me. And all of a sudden, you make a perception check. 3.
I couldn't find myself in the mirror.
So you're looking down at the water, and then all of a sudden, this giant mouth comes out of the water, and it bites you, and your entire body's in this thing's mouth, and it dives down, and you guys see this giant snake body just jump out, bite him, and then bury him into the mud. And
they hear this muffled scream.
I would like to lunge out and stab.
You grab onto its scales, and you take its dagger, your dagger, and you stab it through its scales. And it is still moving through the mud, and you're just getting dragged through behind it, holding onto your dagger. So roll for your damage.
This is great.
There you go.
So you're getting dragged behind, and it takes 5 damage. Andy,
Andy.
you are inside of it. You take 7 damage, Andy.
Do I have freedom of movement, or am I like restrained?
One of your
Or
arms is free.
Can I cast spells with only one hand free? That's a good question.
Depending on the spell.
Okay, sure. I am going to cast True Strike, which is just a cantrip.
Maria, you see this snake is just like winding around all of you guys now. This thing has got to be like 40 feet long.
It's a nice snake.
I cast Magic Missile.
So you cast Magic Missile, and you start just blasting this thing. And it takes a good amount of damage. It's penetrating through the scales. This thing is going to bite down harder on Andy. It does 7 additional damage to you, Andy.
I'm casting Inflict Wounds at 2nd level. So
Okay.
it's going to be 4d10.
You run up,
awful.
and then you trip and you fall, and your face goes right into the mud.
That's awful.
Poor Garrick.
So, Chuck, you see this big snake just took your new friend.
I'm gonna rush and I'm going to attack it.
So you draw your greatsword off of your back, and you're going to try to slash at it. 14. 14 does penetrate its armor. So you crush down on its head, and it lets go of Andy, and you can try to make a strength save to yank him out. You pull him out and you throw him back to safety.
Bad snake. Just a bad snake. Don't be a bad snake. Snake.
I did not like that.
Leave that man alone, Snake! Go back to the hole from whence you slithered from, or you'll inquire more damage from Truck Houndbreaker!
That's more on brand.
I am still stabbed into the snake.
Yes.
I'm gonna roll up to point blank range and deliver a blast from my new fancy blunderbuss.
You shoot it right in the side, and you hit it, and it penetrates through its scales. You shoot a hole through this thing, and you see to the other side.
Yes, I love my new toys so much.
So you shoot it, and then all of a sudden it keeps slithering by, and you see a Vi just swing by in front of you, yelling.
If he fails, I'm gonna grab him.
No, I just don't touch me.
He failed.
He fails. Rory, it's your turn. So in front of you, you see him run up, and he shoots this gun. And you're like, I'm gonna get you. He's like, don't get me. You grab onto him, and you accidentally let go of the dagger, and you fall down onto the mud next to him. You see Blythe raise her spear and she puts branding smite on it. And it hits it, and it stabs into the side of it. Okay, so it does 19 damage. So she throws it, and it starts burning like a hole through the thing. And the snake goes up and starts hissing.
Is it dead yet?
It is not, but it looks very injured. It has a knife in its back. It has a sword wound on its head. It has a hole in its side.
And a spear stabbed through it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bow.
So you hit this thing in the head, and it just does another shriek. Roll for damage. You do 6 piercing damage, and this thing is very slow, but it starts moving right back towards its first prey, which is Andy. It's got its mouth opening, and it's about 30 feet away from you, getting closer.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation and clean the mud off my robes and all of the saliva. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Misty Step and just send myself 30 feet up into a tree where I can watch from a comfortable distance.
So, Maria, you see him poof up, you're like, wow. Incredible
Useless
work.
is what I think.
Good old Alan.
And you see it start moving up towards the tree.
I run up and cast Arms of Hadar.
I don't like this at all. Potential, the dark hunger.
So the arms start pinning it down and making it so it can't get up to him. and it is thrashing about like crazy.
But it's pinned down pretty well.
It is pinned down pretty well. So then you see Blythe running up, and she unsheathes a sword, and she's running, and she takes the sword and she slashes down onto it, and it hits it. This thing is on the brink of death, and it's just sitting there, and it's like hissing, but it can't move, it can't do anything else.
I'd like to interrogate the snake.
I just stab it.
I am saddened by my inability to interrogate this large snake.
What did you think you were going to get out of this thing?
Well, I don't know. What if this large snake was actually intelligent?
Well, we'll never know.
So you guys have a big dead snake in the middle of the swamp.
Sounds like dinner.
I mean, yeah.
I'd like to harvest some snake stuff.
Okay, so you harvest some general snake stuff, some teeth, eye, scales, just some general snake stuff, you know? So you guys continue along into the town and you cook up some snakes, some real good snake stew. And
My favorite.
the villagers, they look at Vi over there with all this snake stuff on their back. They're like, oh my goodness. They're like, did you kill the great snake?
Alan steps forward and says, "We all killed it. All of us worked together to kill it."
No thanks to you, Alan.
I was gonna say, no, he gave these to me willingly, but I can't say that anymore. We're pretty well into the murder.
We're cooking him.
I thought we were supposed to be keeping a low profile here.
Yeah, so Blythe is like, what are you guys doing? Like, so then the villagers are like, oh my goodness, we need to go tell the elders you've freed this land of Asante's rule.
No, we didn't do such thing.
Don't listen to these ones.
Right, yeah. Bye. You feel me, right? Is that
I'm gonna go welcome the recently freed.
I'm gonna go with bye.
They're like, what do you want? What do you need? Is there any way we can assist you on your journey, you two heroes? We can make you snake scale armor out of the great Asante's scales.
I would love that. Actually, I would love that. I'd look so baller with it.
Max, did you kill the snake?
I helped. I actually did do the final blow. So technically.
So
right.
You four are just sitting back with Blythe, like watching these two soak up all the credit and being full of themselves.
I'd rather people not recognize my face right now.
Okay.
Can we take a short rest or something?
We'll take it long.
So Max and Rory get the finest beds that the village has to offer. And Blythe covers the rest of your fees, and she's like, are these two your chosen assistants, or are you stuck with them?
Alan says, "We're asking if you can fire them."
I'm too tired and irritated at this point to want to see either one of them. Can I just go take a trance?